Okay, so this is the end of week 2 of week 12. This is our hamstring night. We split our legs into 2 separate nights. Our first leg night is on Wednesdays, and then our second leg night is on Saturday, which is our hamstrings, and the first night is quad night. So I got Richard with me here again today. If you guys want to know more about the routine, you can go back and y'all can watch some of the previous videos where I explain a lot of what we do. I'm not really going to get into that in this. We're just going to kind of voice over as the video plays. So tonight, what was probably your least favorite thing that we did tonight?
Least favorite? Probably the Romanian deadlifts. It kills my grip, and my grip is not great to start with. So I end up having to use the straps, and then I'm having to figure out the straps right now because I had the small surgery on my wrist, and I got to figure out the placement. When I found out if I got it placed closer to my thumb, it doesn't apply the sharp pain if it's on my wrist itself.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that you had to have surgery on your wrist to have that cyst removed. So, all right. I know this is what all you guys really want to see right here. So I make sure I pull my shorts back up for y'all so y'all can see my calves. And let's not lie about what else we're all looking at here. Come on now. We're looking at the light amount of weight on the barbell. I know you guys are secretly judging me here. No, so grip strength, that is an issue when it comes to this. I actually ended up doing these for 14 reps right here with 155 pounds. And I probably could have got about 18, 19 reps, if not 20, but my grip started giving out on me, so I went ahead and racked it and called it. But for me, probably my least favorite thing was the good mornings. So we switched out our stiff-legged deadlifts to good mornings tonight because I just wanted to switch it up and see how those felt. And I like good mornings a lot, but they're just so brutally hard. I have a long torso, so it puts a lot of stress on my abs, but also like it's just a killer posterior chain work.
Yeah, I like the good mornings. I get a good feel out of them, and I think I got a lot more out of the good mornings than I probably would have if I was doing the stiff-legged deadlifts, because I know you did like 1 or 2 sets of them before you decided to swap, and yeah, I'd have got nowhere near that low.
Yeah. So on this one right here, I am going to talk about this back extension. So we do 45 and flat. This is our flat back extension here. When you guys do these, don't focus on lifting your back up or lifting your head up. Push your hips through the pad. So I'm fatigued right here, so I'm just trying to bang out a bunch of little partial reps. So when you do these right here, force your hips through the pads. Don't try to lift your back up, and don't try to like curl your body up with your hamstrings. Force your hips through the pads. If you want to get your glutes and your hips, that is. You'll target your glutes and your hips way better. If you pull your ankles into the pads, like you're trying to do a leg curl, you're going to get your hamstrings. Then if you just try to lift your back up, you will get your lumbar erectors. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to get all of it, your hamstrings, your hips, and your low back. But you can target on this by simply how you press through it, depending on what muscles you engage. If you push your hips through, like you're trying to stand up from a bent over position, you're going to engage your hips a lot more if that's what you're trying to do. So this right here, this is the good morning. So we use a safety squat bar right here, and I do like doing the safety squat bar, but I think I might switch it up next week and try the camber bar or the buffalo bar just to see if I get a different feel, because I know the buffalo bar wrecks me on these.
I thought the buffalo bar ended up being easier. We found like the safety squat ended up being like the most difficult version. We did it before.
Yeah, you're right. You're
like
right.
The cambered bar was like medium, and then the buffalo bar was like it just felt completely different. Like the weight was cut in half.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remembered it incorrectly, but you're right. Yeah, so the safety squat bar was the hardest of the 3 bars that we had that wasn't a straight bar and everything. So, and it is a really good workout. I like doing it. And right here, I feel like I look like a scared cat. Like the way it felt like to me is I felt like I was bent in half like a scared cat. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh, my back is actually pretty flat, because I was like, this is going to look real bad on camera.
No, it came out pretty good. You get a good stretch, like everything, and then like there's me, this large.
Well, and you could tell as the workout progresses, as your shirt changes colors. You're like one of those little toys you drop in the water, and as it gets wet, it slowly changes colors. So I mean, you could tell by the amount of intensity, because right now your wife beater is starting to soak through and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, I like hamstring night more than quad night, just because I like working out the hips and the hamstrings, and I like the way it feels and stuff like that. Much prefer over the quad night. But also, I never feel this in my knees either. And This week also, my knee was kind of bugging on me. I'm not sure why my knee was bugging on me, but it was. I don't know what was tight. I was stretching and I was doing all kinds of things, but it loosened up here tonight working on the hamstrings, and now my knee feels actually wonderful. So I'm really happy about that. I don't know if it's a stretch or the mobility or the flexibility, but whatever it was, it definitely loosened up.
Yeah, I do like doing the walking lunges. Like, I'm by no means good at lunges, but I'm progressing, and I like the feel of the walking lunges. I feel like I'm more fluid with it than the stationary. The stationary, I feel more clunky.
Yeah, I agree. I like the walking lunges because it feels like I have more control over it because it's a constant forward motion, and it feels like you can actually just step into the next rep versus the stationary lunges where you have to actually push yourself back up into the start position, which requires more force to get your body back up and aligned in the starting position. These are definitely a lot more laid back feeling than the other ones, and eventually when you start putting dumbbells in your hands, it changes the dynamic of it, but it's still the same basic concept. I do like the walking ones better, but you reap different benefits from doing both of them, so that's why I like to split them up on the days. So right here doing the hip adductors and trying to make sure that my cheeks are nice and round, because don't want flat cheeks. How do you feel about your calf work, man? Like, how do you feel about overall, like with the seated calf raise? Because to be honest with you, like, I never actually like seated calf raises. I got this piece of equipment because I got a really great deal on it, but I've never liked doing seated calf raises. I never really feel it that great. Don't get me wrong, I do get a pump in my calves, but I just feel like the standing calf raise or the donkey calf raise is far superior over this.
I mean, I like the seated one that we got and everything, but doing these to compare to just like the holding the dumbbell standing calf raise that we do, I think I get more out of the standing calf raise holding the dumbbell. I wouldn't mind, like, at some point if we were to find like one of the plate loaded standing calf raise machines either.
Well,
Yeah.
if we're going to do that, I'd rather just get rid of the full rack and just get a Smith machine, because that is basically a standing calf raise, and then it's versatile because you get a lot more out of it. But
True.
This right here is my favorite calf exercise. Like, it's the most simplest you can do, and by far, I feel like I get the absolute most out of these, out of every single thing I've ever done for my calves. It's the most simplest, it's the most organic, and I just get such a good pump out of these, and the stabilization you have to use to actually complete these. But if we're to do that, I think a Smith machine would be the way to go, because it is a variety of exercises, but it's also a standing calf raise. If you think about it, you just need a platform to stand on.
Yeah, and if you keep up with it or whatever, eventually you'll get calves like mine.
Yeah, eventually soft.
Yeah,
Soft, pudgy calf.
There you go.
There it is. There it is, with a half calf on one side with your fish tattoo covering it up.
Yeah.
So, I look at your shirt. See, now you know that you put some work in right here, because your whole entire shirt's completely covered in sweat. So you know that you're getting into
Made it to the end of the night.
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier too, right? Only if you lost fat through sweat you would be golden, but unfortunately that's just not the way that it works.
Yep.
It's you got to exhale it out, get your heart rate up, exhale it out. But doing these type of workouts definitely do it. And whenever I was powerlifting, I liked the heavy intensity, low volume when I was powerlifting for the main movements. But whenever I got off the main movement, I like to do more volume. I've been a volume junkie like forever. I love doing volume, and a lot of people say there's a thing as junk volume, and you do too much, you get diminishing returns, and all that volume's not worth doing it and everything. But I mean, honestly, the more volume I do, like how I'm looking at it right now, if I still have body fat over my abs and you can't see my abs, there's no such thing as junk volume, because every movement that I do burns calories, and every calorie burned is a calorie towards me seeing my abs. So that's how I look at it. There's no such thing as too much work if you're still fat and gross, and I'm still very much so fat and gross. So I just don't feel like, I feel like the point of too much volume is when you can't recover from it. I think if you're too sore from your workouts, like 4 days later, like when you first start working out for the first like maybe 2-3 weeks, you're going to be sore. But after like the maybe second month goes by, if you're still brutally sore like 2 days after the day of your workout, yeah, you're probably doing too much and you need to scale it back some. But if you can recover in like maybe 24, 48 hours and you're good to go 72 hours later, I don't think that's too much volume if you're recovering from it. I think that's just a matter of under eating. I don't think it's too much work. I think it's just under eating is what most people's problem is.
Yeah, cutting back way too much.
Yeah, they want to lose weight too fast and they cut their calories down to 1,500, but then they want to do 6,000 calories worth of work and then they want to say, well, I'm overtraining or you're overtrained or, oh, you can't train like that. It's like, well, you can, you're eating way too little. At least that's my personal experience from it and what I've seen from a lot of other people, you know, especially that come to ask me for help.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up, huh?
Yep, sounds like it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, appreciate y'all watching. If you guys want to leave comments, you know, we'd love to hear what you guys think or what you guys have to say about our workouts or our routines or just overall in general questions that y'all might have for us. Not that we could probably answer them, but, you know, maybe we could all have a good laugh together. So, but that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time.